we have arrived. Eventually we got here. All right, a lot to get into today, Hugh. And here's where I want to start. So we got a big game Sunday, Eagles-Giants. Yesterday on the afternoon show, I was driving home this time. Is this a must-win game? Which gives you a sense of how big this is.
Sense of urgency.
Yeah, for the season, for our psyche, especially after last week, for the head coach, who, we'll see what he looks like on Sunday. We know last weekend he had a new look. So here's what has been true for a very long time.
What's that?
Very long time. If there is one thing about the Eagles, no matter what's going on, when they're good, when they're mediocre, and mostly over the last decade, they've been either good or mediocre. A lot of good, some mediocre. One year they were bad. But for the most part, over the last decade, one thing is true about the Eagles. They beat the crap out of the Giants.
Yes.
That is the truth. Over the last decade, the Eagles are 17-4 against the New York Giants. Sirianni and Hurts, 5-2, including a playoff win over the New York Giants. This spans different coaches. It spans different regimes, different quarterbacks. It doesn't matter. The Eagles beat the Giants. And yet, Hugh, even with that fact in mind, I don't trust them to win the game on Sunday. They should. They're favored. They're better. I mean, I acknowledge all these things. But I just sit here on this Friday morning, and I don't trust that the Eagles are going to go win this football game. They have the better quarterback in the game, we assume, and we propose. They have the better coach of the game, I think. They have way more weapons. Yet there's something about this particular Eagles team so far this year, the way they've played, even last week at home off a bye against the Browns. Hugh, where are you at this morning? Because even though this is usually the Eagles' homecoming game, this is usually we got to get right, let's beat the Giants.
Get right game. This is the anytime touchdown game.
This is always for Saquon?
No, not for Saquon.
Oh, it was Boston Scott.
Boston Scott, anytime touchdown.
This was easy money.
Yeah, this was an easy money
Hugh,
game.
do you trust the Eagles? Because I always do. In fact, last year, I think when they played on Christmas, I guaranteed a win before that game.
That sounds about right.
They always beat the Giants. And yet I don't trust them on Sunday. Hugh, do you trust the Eagles to win a game they should win?
I really don't have a choice in this matter.
Well, you do.
I mean, I don't, because I've been very bullish all week on this team, and I felt like this was the week, with everything that has transpired, that this team was going to get back on track. So that's what I'm going with, yeah.
It sounds like tepid trust.
Well,
it sounds like you trust them, but
tepid or no, it's trust. It's trust.
Yeah, but all right.
Now,
there's two different kinds of trust. Like there's blind, full trust. You ever do the fall test or the trust test?
Fall.
The trust fall, right?
Yeah.
Like you let someone falls and they trust you're going to catch them in their arms.
Yes, I did that that's what you did when you was in high school and you went on a little field trips and stuff.
I don't trust, like, if I'm falling and the Eagles have to catch me, I feel deep down they're going to drop me and I'm going to fall on Sunday.
I'll fall, but you best believe I'm going to have a damn helmet on. Because that head bounce on that concrete or that ground is something serious. So I'm definitely gonna fall back, but I'm gonna have a helmet on.
Well, here's what I'm hearing from Hugh Douglas today.
What?
I'm hearing the untepid trust. I'm hearing the hand is shaking here.
I'm a little nervous, but I'm rolling with them, Joe. That's like. Nah, I'm not gonna give you a bad analogy, right? I'm gonna wait a little while. I'm gonna give it a little bit of time.
10:08 bad analogy. Tongue-tied Hugh has arrived.
I trust them though. I don't know what I'm gonna get from this defense. I trust that they're gonna win. Now.
You don't trust a damn thing.
Now, allow me
your teeth.
First of all, do two things. Allow me to slow down and speak clear and concise before I start stuttering and y'all think I'm lying. let me slow down. Leave me alone and let me think about what I'm trying to say.
You trust him.
I trust that they're going to win the game. Now, this is where it gets a little in the gray area. How is that going to look?
Not great.
I feel like this is what feels comfortable to me. I feel like coming to work Monday, I feel comfortable saying that it might be one of the ones where the fans are a little bit upset. We might have some lively phone lines Monday. So that's where I am with this team. We're going to win, but I think the phone lines are going to be jumping. Does that make you feel better?
No, not at all. Not, actually, 215-592-9494. There's been no surer bet in the NFC East over a decade than the Eagles beat the Giants.
Yeah.
I started doing shows at WIP in 2013. I don't know if I've ever picked the Giants to beat the Eagles in a game. I don't know if I've ever done it. I mean, most of the time, Giants have stunk, which is obviously a big part of it, and the Eagles have been mostly good, if not very good. But even when it's a weird game like this, where the spread is 3 points and it feels like it's not a lock, I always just think the Eagles are going to win the game. Even last year, so they were 17-4 against the Eagles. The Eagles are 17-4 against Giants the last decade. Even one of those losses, remember that game last year to end the season? When they started the game with their starters, but they pulled them out at halftime. Like, they were probably going to lose anyway, but Marcus Mariota finished that game. The Eagles, when they try to beat the Giants and they play full, beat them like a drum for a decade. And yet I'm going into this game on Sunday, and I don't have trust. And you know what, Hugh? You let me down. Because I was looking at you to make me feel better. And you gave me tepid trust.
What? No, wait a minute, Joe.
At least I got someone here. We'll get to it. Someone at WIP guaranteed a victory on Sunday.
Wait a minute,
I don't
Joe.
know if that made me feel better or worse.
The one thing that I've always been, since I've been here with you especially, is honest.
I know.
And truthful.
But sometimes you need to be lied to.
No, I'm not going to do that. I think they're going to win. I said that. How is it going to look? I don't think the way it looks is going to make us feel any better than we felt against the win we had against the Cleveland Browns.
So you're setting me up for fourth quarter 17-17.
No, I just feel...
Get ready, buckle in.
I just feel like we're going to do a lot of in the first quarter. Let me say this too. I don't think they're going to score in the first quarter. If they do, that's great. But I don't think that's going to happen.
That'll make six straight games.
Let's get used to people. Let's wrap our mind around that today, so we don't have to worry about that Sunday. So when it happens Sunday, you don't have any heart palpitations, agita, nothing like that. You don't have heartburn. I'm trying to save y'all some yelling watching this game.
Hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Yeah. Okay. They're not probably going to score in the first half. Probably not going to happen.
First half or first quarter?
First half.
First half?
Probably not. It's probably going to be.
If they don't score in the first half.
Okay, late in the first half. Does that make you feel better?
No, not
Joe,
at all.
It might. I'm just preparing you. This is my job, to be honest with you and prepare you for potentially what might happen. I have an agenda. Now, and the agenda is to try to help. See, you know what? I thought about this last night. I had an epiphany.
Oh, no, he's long thinking again.
No, listen. I had an epiphany. I'm laying in the bed. I'm like, you know how when God puts you in certain situations to help people out? That's why he brought me back to Philly, dog.
The good Reverend Douglas.
He brought me back to Philly to help the fan base out because they needed me. Y'all needed me.
This is a joke.
No, seriously,
frankly.
Kyle, I was thinking about this last, and Grant, I always got to say it with this. I wasn't high. I was not high. But I got to thinking, because I'm like, I am the salve to the wounds of the city.
You have got to be smoking.
No, I'm Kyle, listen. Because I have, like, when I think about this. Every day somebody calls and I look at the phone line and somebody's mad or whatever. And when I drop these pearls of knowledge, they change their mind about certain things. So I'm like, you know what? I was going to say Jim Jones, but that's not a good comparison. Jim Jones is not, because that did
you
not
don't want to be Jim Jones.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to think of somebody else. Who was it? Jerry Falwell. Is that a good one? I don't know. That don't sound like a good one either.
I think you're delusional.
No, but the point is this.
You're not making either of us feel better.
No, but the point. No, Kyle, because you're just angry all the time. I mean, that just happens. I'm saying, but I bring so much truth to these airwaves that people kind of, they enjoy that.
All
so that's
right.
what I'm here for.
Well,
It doesn't help that I'm blind.
215-592-9494. Joe Giglio and Moses over here leading you through the next 4 hours. All right. Do you trust the Eagles? Do you trust the Eagles to beat the Giants? We start there. Your phone call's coming up. Usually it's very easy to trust the Eagles to beat the Giants. Do you trust the Eagles to beat the Giants on Sunday? We'll play some audio next. Dan Orlovsky, very critical of the Eagles coaching. And we have a very important update. For a certain someone on this show we have to get to, this will actually applaud you for. 215-592-9494 for Midday Show, Sports Radio 94 WIP.